Good afternoon. I wanted to come to you and kind of give you an update as we look to our projected date, July 5th, this Sunday, to reopen our churches. I do want to go over our opening safety guidelines with you for just a few minutes. But as we do have a projected date before us, as many of you know, this continues to be a very fluid situation, meaning things change by the minute, by the hour, by the day right now. This is a projected date, but as cases change within our area, that too can be subject to change. Right now, our projected date looks good, so we are moving forward, but we will keep you updated if anything was to change. I do want to spend just a few minutes with you going over what to expect when you come to church this Sunday. So we will be meeting in the Ministry Center. Carol Payne and Ty Hayworth and some other fantastic volunteers have done a wonderful job of setting up chairs in our ministry center for all of us to enjoy. 91 chairs we are able to get into our ministry center, each chair being 6 feet apart, with the ability to scoot chairs together so that a family or those living in the same household may sit in worship together. All of our worship leaders will be up front on the stage, and they have chairs up there provided for them, also 6 feet apart. So we will be practicing social distancing. As you are preparing to go back to worship, we do want to remind you and advise you that if you find yourself in one of those high-risk categories, we hope that you will take some time to seriously consider your own safety before returning to worship. Right now, the safest option still is to worship at home, and we will have live streaming available, so you will be able to worship at home if you find that you would feel more comfortable worshiping at home. If you are feeling unwell in any way, sniffles, sneezes, coughs, fever, digestive issues, any sickness at all, we ask that you would please stay home at this time for your safety and for ours as well. When you enter the ministry center, we're going to be using those double doors over where the walkway is, the covered walkway. You will be waiting in line there to come into church. As you come in, if you don't already have your own cloth mask, we can provide you with a mask. There will be a list of everyone who's made their reservation. You'll be checked off there, and a wonderful greeter that instead of shaking your hand or giving you a hug will offer you a pump of hand sanitizer and say good morning. We are mandating that everyone wear a mask. Now, of course, we know you make your own choices outside of the church. However, for our worship services, we are requiring masks. They are not required for children who are 2 and under. We ask that you'll be patient with us. This is going to be our first Sunday with a lot of changes. There may be some rough spots. There may be some bumps. We will evaluate and reevaluate as we move forward and hopefully be able to work out those kinks. But this Sunday, we're all learning a lot of new things. As you are waiting in line and being checked into worship, you may not be sitting where you normally sit. Those of you who like to sit far in the back, or those of you that like to sit in the front, you will be escorted to a row by our wonderful safety and security team, and they'll provide you with a place to sit. And this just maintains safety and social distancing. So if you're somebody who likes to be in the front, I suggest you're there a little earlier. And if you're somebody that likes to sit in the back, being in the back of the line will probably mean you're going to be seated further back. We do have a traffic pattern, so you'll be escorted one way to your seat. We ask that you'll remain seated during the service unless you need to use the restrooms. Those will be open. We are asking that you maintain social distancing practices in the restroom, but then return to your seat, practicing social distancing upon your return, and remain seated until the end of the service, at which time our safety and security team will dismiss us by rows, you might think wedding style, and we will exit out the ministry center through the double doors located by the bathrooms. We ask that you do please keep your mask on through the entire service. And if something prevents you from being able to keep your mask on, then you can simply slip out the double doors that are located there by the bathrooms. If you don't want to wear a mask, then like I said, we will have live streaming services coming to you in your house where you can comfortably worship in the safety of your home, mask free. We'll have hand sanitizer stations, like I said, a greeter with hand sanitizer set up. So if you feel that you need sanitation after something, you will have the opportunity to be able to go to the greeter to have I've said this so many times now that it's just hand sanitizer as you come in, and I believe there will be another station as you exit the building. And we will be doing an offering, but different than we normally do. So as you come in, there will be a place to place your offering if you would like, to leave your offering as you enter into worship. So you can have that ready in line. If you would rather leave it at the end, you may simply prepare your offering during worship, and there will be another place for you to leave your offering as you exit. You can also simply go online to our Facebook page. Pinned at the top of the page is still the link that we are using for online giving. 100% of that is going to Mountain View, or you can still just mail a check in if that works for you. At this time, we are not going to do Holy Communion just yet. We have talked about that. We do have some supplies, but we want to get some of these changes more familiar to us until we try to add that into the mix of worship as well. Our staff are coming back into the facility to work, but we're not necessarily open for walk-ins at this time. We do have some high-risk staff that we as Christians need to do everything we can to provide them a safe working opportunity. And so if you have business that you need to do at the church, we're asking if you can simply do that by phone or email. If not, give Cheryl a call, make an appointment, and you can come in. We will ask you to wear a mask when you come into the office, and you will be asked to practice social distancing. There are some markers on the floor to make sure that none of us get too close to Cheryl's desk. The staff are practicing social distancing as well, but you can make an appointment to come in if you need to take care of some business at the church. On Sunday mornings, there will not be anything happening at this time but worship. So we'll be in the ministry center. The other main building will not be open on Sunday mornings. We will have some volunteers that will take our completed attendance list to the office, and of course we have offering needs to attend to after the service by volunteers. Other than that, we will not be using the space in that main building at this time. So we will keep all of our traffic flow through the ministry center. We are going to be maintaining very clean spaces. The ministry center is cleaned on a weekly basis, and all of our highly trafficked surfaces are going to be disinfected. Your seats are going to be wiped down. Door handles will be wiped down. Any materials, tables where we pass by will be wiped down. All the bathrooms will be wiped down and fully sanitized. So we are going to make it a point to keep our spaces very clean for your safety. We do have the fellowship hall available if a group within our church would like to meet. The group must be 10 persons or less. They have to call Cheryl and reserve the fellowship hall. They must provide us with a list of who will be in attendance for contact tracing purposes. And they must also wear masks and practice social distancing. However, they can use that space to meet. The fellowship hall is available. None of the kitchen areas will be available at this time. We will not be doing any morning coffee or serving or having any drinks of any kind or any food available. So our kitchen spaces in the main building and in the ministry center are unavailable at this time. And I believe that is all of the major updates I wanted to give you, just to make sure that we're on the same page with what to expect when you come to church. We are very much looking forward to seeing you in person, and I will be communicating with you again as we approach our projected date, and we hope to see you on July 5th for a Sunday of worship. Thank you for joining me for this very exciting informational session on what to expect in worship. Have a great week.